Okay, I'm recording. So, have you ever done like the math properties and what they're called and how they work? Commutative, that sound associative, that sound familiar to you at all? Okay. All right, it is something that I'm required to cover in this curriculum. Not my favorite lesson, but we'll get through it. Some of these are going to be very, very obvious. All right, so reflexive property, this is what it means. It means that if you have A plus B, that equals A plus B, which seems ridiculous, but it is true. It's basically just saying that the equal sign makes them equal. So like, for example, 3 equals 3, or 5 equals 5, or 8 plus 15 equals 8 plus 15. So the reflexive property is just same thing on both sides. It's really kind of talking about what an equal sign is. Make sure you're writing. I am going to give prizes for this stuff, by the way, so pay attention. The first part's a little boring. All right, now, second one. If A plus B equals C, then I can say that C equals A plus B. Symmetric just means you can switch sides. So 1 plus 4 equals 5, and also 5 equals 1 plus 4. Very, very silly things. These are kind of things that everybody knows, but I am required to teach you what the different names are. All right, transitive property. The transitive property says this. If A equals B and B equals C, anybody want to finish that for me for a prize? Yeah? Then A equals C. This is kind of pointless to do with an example, unless you're doing something that you're solving for. So if it was like x plus 2 equals 8, and also y minus 3 equals 8, then I could also say that since those both equal 8, x plus 2 equals y minus 3. Cameron, you want to go grab a prize? Do you want me to make use of my morning signs? Or you want another tattoo? We're going tattoo crazy. Which one is it gonna be? Ooh, I like that one. A cat. It's kind of cool. Did you have the pig to begin with?
No, I had the bandage one.
Okay. All right. The additive identity it's just talking about what makes something true. So the additive identity says that like A plus 0 equals A. For example, five plus 0 equals 5. Can anybody think, for a prize for the additive inverse on this one, what do you think the word inverse means? Yeah? Opposite. Okay, so now that we know that inverse means opposite, can anybody think of what this one could possibly mean? Additive means we're doing adding, yeah?
So it would be A plus B equals C, then B plus A equals C.
No, not quite. So this one was plus 0 and got the original one. That's an identity. Identity means that you stay yourself, yeah? No. What do you think would cancel something out if you were adding? Like, what could you add? Subtracting by the same number. So tell me how to do it. I'm going to use adding, though. 5 plus what? -5 equals 0. So I'm going to write here, this would be a plus a negative a equals 0. So basically, a positive and a negative cancel each other out. Callie, go get a prize. All right. Now you've all seen what the additive identity was. What can we add to a to stay at a? All right, let's talk about multiplicative. What can we multiply to stay the same number? Is the question. Okay, so Tristan, tell me the whole thing. Nice.
A times 1
Mm-hmm.
equals A.
Exactly. And an example of it?
8 times 1 is 8.
Beautiful. Okay. Go get a prize. Here, here's your owner sign if you want one of those. All right. Multiplicative property of 0. What happens when you multiply something by 0? Who wants to tackle this one? Have you gotten a prize yet, Lincoln? Okay, go ahead. Besides for the puzzle, have you gotten one for this? Okay, go ahead, Lincoln.
So 8 times 0 equals 0.
Mm-hmm.
And then an example would be like 8 times 0 equals 0.
Good. Do you see how the examples have specific numbers in it, but then the rules are just general with A's and B's and stuff like that? Make sure you're writing. Everybody needs to write this down. All right, this one's a little harder. I'm going to do the example of here. Lincoln, go get a prize.
Do you have any more analytic?
Sure. Go.
Thank you.
Okay, what could I multiply by 1/2 to get to 1? Mm-hmm. 2 over 1. So the inverse is that you can flip the fraction, and that will cancel it out and get you to 1. So, Callie, you want to go for the full prize? Can you tell me the mathematical way to say it?
A over B
Uh-huh. Times.
B over A equals.
Beautiful. Go get another one. All right, the last two I'm going to do, associative and commutative. Let's start with the associative property. Nice. The associative property says that if you take parentheses A plus B plus C, that equals A plus parentheses B plus C. Which means you can add or multiply in any order you like. And I'm going to do an multiplication example. Sorry, I need actual numbers in there. One times 2 times 3 equals 1 times parentheses 2 times 3. 1 times 2 is 2. And over here I'm going to do this parenthesis first. 2 times 3 is 6. See how I get 6 on both sides? It doesn't matter what order you multiply things in or the order you add things in. You'll get the same answer. Does it matter the order in which you subtract things? Yeah. How about division? Yeah. 1 divided by 2 is not the same thing as 2 divided by 1. Everybody okay with this so far? Okay, last one is the commutative property. And that one just says that you can switch the order like this. A plus B equals B plus A.